What up, what up? This is Ray Grand, your host, and you're listening to The Ray Grand Show, where we talk about redefining a disability and overcoming. I've been paralyzed from 22 years from bacterial spinal meningitis. I know a few things. That's right. Thank you for listening, and let's get to it. Good day, people. This is Ray Grand, your host. Welcome to The Ray Grand Show. This is episode 27, and today we are going to be talking about self-awareness. And we do have a series coming your way, 10 ways to be the best version of yourself. Yes, the best version of yourself. So expect every week a new podcast and a step to be the best version of yourself. So now, let's get into the first step, self-awareness. So let's define self-awareness. The definition here says conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Makes me think when the time that I wasn't self-aware. Because based off this definition, if we are aware and have knowledge of our own character, feelings, motives, and desires, I think we're in for a surprise, because there's going to be some ugly truths. So let me talk about myself and tell you a little bit about my story. I remember vividly when I got a scholarship to go to Oklahoma State University. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, born and raised. However, going out of state for college was a big leap of faith for me. Because currently paralyzed from the waist down, and at the time my mother pretty much did everything for me, as far as cooking, cleaning, fixing to the bed, things to that nature, mostly domestic things. I was independent, driving, getting out of bed by myself, able to shower, dress myself, things to that nature. However, when it came to domestic work, not my forte, don't want to do it. So going to college was quite scary for me. However, I decided to go by the help of my mentor, Kenneth Mumford, and also another friend of mine who encouraged me to go as well. And I decided to go. And I remember the first night that I arrived at Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I went through the process of the RA, filled out the paperwork, and went to the room. The room was empty. And the coach was like, "All right, Ray, see you tomorrow." And guess what? Yep, I was all by myself. All by myself to think, all myself to feel, all of those things. So when it became dark, I couldn't go to sleep. And so all I did was cry. Literally, cry. Why was I crying? At that time, I didn't know why I was crying. However, the next day, I realized that I was on my own and I had to cook for myself. I had to do the laundry. I had to wash the dishes. I had to fix my bed. I had to do it all. Boom. Ronald Louis Grandois, you are in a wheelchair. And now, what are you going to do about it? And that was my awakening of self-awareness. So I had to ask myself several questions. Why am I in this dark place? Because before I used to go party with my brothers, smoke weed, to drink, not even eat well. I had a G-tube. For those who don't know, that's getting food through a tube through my stomach, because I had a lot of pressure sores. And so I asked myself a question: what is the return on my investment? And you know very, very well, the answer was zero. I didn't get a return financially, which was money, ching. We all like a little bit of money. I didn't get a return emotionally. I got drunk. The return was a hangover. Didn't get a return on getting high, smoking weed. The return on that was lack of memory. So I looked and said, all these things, I had no return on my investment. So I had to face reality because I no longer wanted to stay in my throw up. And I didn't have a choice because now I'm in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I really had two choices. Is to live or to die. And I chose to live and no longer to stay in my throw up and be a victim of my pain. These things never served me and they never will. And a good quote said, you have to know who you are to grow to your potential. But you have to grow in order to know who you are. So I want you to imagine if I was not self-aware. Where would I be today? I would have to honestly say I probably would be in the grave because of the countless surgeries I had year after year. I don't think my body or my spirit or my emotional being was going to be able to sustain it. And I believe all of us as people, we have a will to live. It's just finding the reason why to live. And for me, the reason started with my faith. I knew God had a plan for me. And I knew that in order for that plan to be fulfilled, I had to seek him. And so that's what I did. And being self-aware is work. It's hard work. I think that people tend to sugarcoat it and make it think it's easy because just like when you're driving, say you're driving a car, there's a rear view mirror and then there's also the side mirror. So imagine a car pulling up to that side and then you have a blind spot. You have to turn your head to look. And then when you look, boom, there's a car right next to you. But if the car is in that right spot, when you look in the mirror, you don't see that car, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's similar to us. There are certain areas in our life that we do not see, and we need somebody else to help us see that and be a mirror for us. And that person being a mirror for us, they may tell us some things about our character, about our motive that is not particularly good. So for me, for example, the motive, I remember my motive of being in entrepreneurship. My motivation was to make money. And when you think about that, have you ever bought a product and you love the product and it served you? But imagine buying a product and you're like, oh man, this is a total ripoff. You throw it away. Like, man, that salesperson, he didn't care about me. He just wanted to sell me something. That's a disgusting feeling. And so I had to check myself and say, look, anything that I touch, anything that I'm involved in, it has to be a strong why, and my motive has to be in the right place. My heart has to be in the right place. I will do things to serve with excellence, to serve with respect, and to give a quality product and service to the person that I'm giving it to or sending it to or even selling to. So that's being self-aware, like we said in the definition before, is being conscious of the knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motive, and desires. And so for me, like I said earlier, is having an accountability partner. My accountability partner to date would be my wife. So we walk 5 times a week, every week since the quarantine, and we've been committed for about 4 months. And so when I don't feel like getting up, my wife's like, come on. And when I tell her, like, let's go, when she doesn't feel like getting up, and we keep each other accountable, we keep each other sharp, because we know our health is our wealth. And with great health, we will live the long living life of abundance. And that's what we believe in. We practice what we preach, and we tell our children the same. If you preach something, you better do it. Don't tell someone to do something and then you're not doing it. And that's why I'm in a position here today to talk to you about self-awareness. And so I want to give you some action steps on how to become self-aware. Number 1 is to ask yourself, who are you? Who are you? And number 2, where are you going? Yes, where are you going? And number 3, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Write those questions down and answer those questions in a peaceful place where you can think and get clarity and understanding. And if no answer comes, ask yourself the question again, like I asked you. Who are you? Where are you going? What is my purpose? Sometimes people don't know what purpose means, so I will help you. Purpose means, what am I meant to do in this world? What am I going to do? Why am I going to do it? What is my purpose? For example, my purpose, I know, is to help persons with disabilities, which are athletes that have become paralyzed due to spinal cord injuries. And I help them gain clarity, understanding, and help them execute on particular goals that they have. And the way I do that is I help them increase their GPA. No, I'm not talking about the grade point average. I'm talking about their gratitude, their perspective, and their attitude. And if you'd like to learn more, you could download the free GPA audio on my website on the homepage at raygrand.com. So I hope this episode helped you. And the next time we're going to be talking about expressing your emotions. Thank you for listening. This is the Ray Grand Show. Thanks for listening. If you like something that you heard, please leave a review. Oh, one more thing.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Love y'all.